Yes, we're live. Okay. Is there something that you can eat that's going to help you to stay full longer, reduce your cravings, and burn more fat? There is, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Now, I'm going to make this really quick, healthy dessert, and I know some of you have already heard my little, hello, Elena. Hi, Jeff. And Melissa. I know that, Priscilla, hi. I know some of you guys have heard this, but listen, because it's really important, so it's good for you to hear it again, because if you can just nail down this one thing when it comes to your eating, yeah, it's really, really beneficial for your health. And like I mentioned, it helps to balance, well, I didn't mention this yet. It helps to balance your hunger hormones. I'll get to that. But it also will help you to burn more fat. So this is really kind of like when I work with clients one-on-one, this is what I teach them. And this is when they get good at this is when they start to get crazy results. Okay, so this thing I'm going to tell you about, this combination, it's going to help you to balance your hunger hormones. So ghrelin and leptin is going to help to balance that. So that means that you're going to feel full longer, and it's going to help to reduce those cravings. Now, what I love about this combination is it helps to stabilize your blood sugar. And I feel like when I talk about blood sugar, sometimes people kind of zone out, like, I don't know. But listen, this is the key to health, and the key to easily burn more fat is stabilize blood sugar, okay? So that should be what we're all striving for. So the three things that you want to eat together to make that happen is fat, fiber, and protein, okay? Those three things, fat, fiber, protein together is going, like I said, to stabilize your blood sugar, and it's going to help to balance your hunger hormones. Now, every time you eat, if you can get really good at this, like, okay, do I have fat, fiber, and protein? That needs to be the foundation of every single meal, okay? And then when we talk about fiber sources, we want to try to get most of our fiber sources, or many of the fiber source from plant-based sources, okay? So that's nuts, that's seeds, that's vegetables, that's beans, some fruits, the fruits that are lower on the sugar end, and avocados. OMG, avocados are like perfect. They have all three of those things, fat, fiber, protein. They're amazing. Spoiler alert, that's what we're gonna be using today to make our little dessert. Trust me, it's good. Okay, so why do you want to get most of your fiber from plant-based sources? Because when we're eating things that, like starchy carbs, right? I always want to say couscous, but what's quinoa? Quinoa has a good amount of fiber, right? But it also has a lot of carbs. So you're going to have that blood sugar spike. So that's fine sometimes, but that's why I'm saying when you're trying to think of where can I get my fiber from, try to really emphasize plant-based sources because of the blood sugar situation. Okay, you guys ready? This is awesome. Now, here's the thing. This happened Tuesday. I did this for City of Manhattan Beach, and my avocado wasn't like perfectly ripe. That's kind of a big deal. I don't normally, try to get my avocados ripe on a specific day because I normally just make this when the avocado's ripe. So the one I have is pretty good today. But here's the deal. You're going to take your avocado. It needs to be, if it's not ripe enough, it's not going to get creamy. I didn't even tell you what we're making. What a goober. We're making chocolate avocado mousse or pudding, whatever you want to call it, okay? I think mousse sounds so French, right? Okay, so chocolate avocado mousse. If your avocado isn't ripe, you're not gonna be able to make it creamy like a mousse or like a pudding. Like a pudding. Okay, so, and if it's, Priscilla, wait till you see this. And if it's too ripe, it's not gonna taste good. So if it's got all those brown, grody streaks through it, then no bueno. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my avocado, I pulled the pit out, and I'm just gonna scoop it out with a fork, okay? And now I'm gonna use an immersion blender. But it's better to use like a food processor or a blender, especially if you have a high power blender like a Vitamix, that would make this delicious. But I'm just gonna be like straight real here. I don't like to get all that stuff out. So I just use this and it's good enough. It's good enough for me. But I'm just letting you know that if you do have like a food processor handy or your blender's sitting out, I don't leave my blender sitting out, that's gonna make for a better chocolate pudding. Okay, now I'm just gonna mash up just to get the whole process started. And I can tell part of the avocado is a little bit hard, but that's okay. We'll make it work. You guys see it? Oh, Michelle, I get so happy when I see your name. Hi. Okay, so I mashed up my ripe avocado. There you go, look, it looks like guacamole. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, so for 2 servings, I figure like a half an avocado is for 1 serving. So I'm gonna make this for my husband and myself tonight. So I do 1 avocado, okay? All right, so I'm mashing that puppy up. Then I'm gonna I have here unsweetened cocoa powder, like baking cocoa powder, right? You could use raw cacao powder if you have that, but I think most people have something like this, and it's not sweetened, obviously. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons. So if you were only making a half of avocado, 1 tablespoon. See there? Okay, so 1 avocado gets 2 tablespoons. I have seen recipes out there where they do the cocoa powder plus then they melt down dark chocolate. You could do that, but again, for me, this is all about, I just want to whip it up. I don't want to like be melting chocolate and all that bananas, but you could do that. But I think it tastes really good without that. So, okay, so I have 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Now you need to add some sweetener. So let's talk about this. I'm gonna add, this stuff is called Whole Earth. It's a stevia monk fruit. Oh my gosh, why can't I talk, you guys, today? Stevia monk fruit blend. I love this stuff. I just think it tastes good. You could I use this stuff too when I bake Swerve. It's a type of stevia. It's called erythritol. I know it sounds really scary, but it's supposed to be one of the best choices for when it comes to artificial sweeteners. So xylitol, erythritol, stevia. But if you don't want to use artificial sweetener, okay, you could use maple syrup. That would be perfect in this. The thing about artificial sweetener, I want to say, because there's so much controversy about this, I use artificial sweetener, yes, when I'm making dessert because I have type 1 diabetes and I don't want to have to inject insulin to eat this. So I need to keep the sugar real low. But I still pretend I treat it as real sugar. So this is still a treat for me, even though, yeah, technically it has no carbs, but I still think of it like, oh, it's a treat, okay? That's how you should consider artificial sweetener if you're gonna use it. Don't just go all hurly-gurly with the artificial sweetener, okay? But maple syrup, if you're not too concerned of a little tiny bit of sugar, I would use 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of my Whole Earth stevia monk fruit blend that I really like. I started using this from Starbucks. They put it out with by the coffee thing. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, unsweetened. 2 tablespoons of sweetener, whatever. And then 2 tablespoons of some liquid. I'm using unsweetened coconut milk. You could use water. I made this last week for Joe and I just used water because we didn't have any. So it tasted just fine. Honey, yes, don't use agave. Agaves, we're finding out now. Remember all that, how healthy agave is? Now we're finding out it's not healthy at all. Yeah, honey, you could use that. It's 2 tablespoons, so it's not a crazy amount of sugar. But like I say, if you're a person who maybe if you're pre-diabetic, or maybe if you're like, listen, I really want to control my blood sugar, then I would suggest using stevia because, like I say, supposedly, according to experts, stevia is safe to use. But again, in my mind, I pretend like it's sugar. I'm not like it's not like a free-for-all, right? Okay, so I'm using 2 tablespoons of unsweetened coconut milk, When I made this on Tuesday, it wasn't enough liquid. I had to add some more. So you're just, yeah, stevia packets. Here's the thing too. We're gonna blend this all up and then I need to taste it because sometimes I'm like, oh, it needs to be a little bit, 2 tablespoons stevia, Elena, And once I blend it all together and taste it, I might be like, okay, it needs more chocolate or needs more sweetener. Maybe you didn't use enough sweetener. So you could just adjust it to whatever floats your boat. Last thing, right? Last thing, this is optional. Oh no, there's 2 things. This is optional, vanilla. And I just put like a half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon. I'm like losing my mind today. Okay, a half a teaspoon. And of course, try to be careful with what vanilla you use. Like you don't use that like pure vanilla, not with all the chemicals in it. Okay, one thing, this is not optional. I'm gonna grind a little bit of my pink Himalayan sea salt in it, just a little, and I don't have a measurement for that, just kind of zhuzh it up with your sea salt. Okay, here we go. Now the powder's gonna kind of fly all over the place. That's the one thing about the immersion blender. Yeah, it gets a little misty in here. So I'm just gonna kind of do this before I turn it on. And then I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, sorry, gotta make noise. So just talks amongst yourselves. Just kidding, we can't, huh? Okay, hold on. This is gonna be a good one. Like I said, I normally make this when the avocado's right? It's hard when I'm trying to like perform on demand with this perfectly ripe avocado because man, I had avocados for the one I did for the City of Manhattan Beach on Tuesday. And then thank God the day before I went and got them. I just pulled them out of I just set them out and they were completely mush, like ruined. So I had to run to the grocery store and just fingers crossed that they had some that were ripe. And thank God they did. Okay, I need a little tiny bit more. And I'm gonna just tell you guys that a little bit more liquid. On Tuesday when I made it with the city, after I got off with them, I went and blended it a little bit more. I just didn't want to be like, you guys having to sit here watch me blend all day. You'll get the idea when I show you what it looks like. But the more you can blend it, the creamier it's gonna get. And while I'm finishing this up, let me just talk about this. You can eat it right away if you want. I made this for Joe a couple weeks ago. I used to make it all the time. I hadn't made it in a long time. And I didn't tell him what it was. And he was like, oh my God, this is so good. And then I was like, hee. So he's like, tell me what's in it. And I told him it was avocado. And he was like, BS, it is not avocado. And so I literally had to sit there and be like, I swear to God, it's an avocado. It's really, really, really good. So, okay. And then also I kind of like put a little extras on there. So again, I need to blend this a little bit more, but I don't want to make you sit here watching me do this. So first thing I would do is just taste it. A little taste. It's awesome. I literally cannot tell it's an avocado, I swear to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a bowl. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Can you use oat milk? Yeah, you can, but here's the thing, oat milk has a lot of sugar. So watch the sugar. Unless for some reason you can't have nut milk or coconut milk, and in that case, I would say just use water. But read the thing, what do you call it, the nutrition facts. If there's sugar, don't do it, man. Okay, so I put a little bit in here. Can you guys see that? See, it's like chocolate pudding. It's so good. Okay, yeah, unsweetened almond milk would be good. Unsweetened almond milk, unsweetened coconut milk, or water. Okay, so now, finishing touches. So what I like to top this with is sliced strawberries. You could use any berries. Remember when we're working with fruit. Berries, any kind, tons of antioxidants, tons of fiber. That's what we want, right? Fiber. And low sugar. So the berries are the bomb. So I like to do sliced strawberries, little sliced almonds, and then something else that I love to put on mine is these cacao nibs. I just sprinkle a little bit right before I'm gonna eat it. You don't wanna let it sit there because they'll get mush. But it's just kind of a little crunch. I think they're so good. And they're really, really healthy for you. Cacao nibs are like real healthy, but remember they're not sweetened. So if you're not into that, if that ain't your jam, don't add that. Okay, now storing it, last thing, and then go out and get your avocados. So now I'm just gonna show you what I would do. You can keep this up to 48 hours in the refrigerator. Best thing is to put it in some type of an airtight container, like maybe a mason jar or something like that. But if there's a space between the lid of the mason jar and the top of the pudding, here's what I do. I just have aren't these cute? My friend Catherine got me these, a little set of these. I just take the pudding, and it's not full. Like I told you, I'm gonna keep blending this a little bit more. Once I fill it up, I just take a piece of this stuff, saran wrap, and then you wanna push it on to the top of the pudding like that. So the air's not on it. It'll just keep it from getting that kind of weird, like funky, remember pudding when you were a kid and it would get that little film on the top? It'll keep it from doing that. And then when you're ready to eat it, take it out of the refrigerator, pull this off and add your toppings. And it is, and it has all three of those things. Did I say that? I don't know if I did. The avocado chocolate pudding, what is it? Fat, fiber, protein. So this is a dessert you can feel good about. And yeah, there you go. Does anybody have questions? Sean, you're here. You're getting on here right as I'm leaving. That's okay. I'm recording this, so don't worry about it. You can see it there. I think I'm gonna post. Yeah, Elena, you're gonna love this. I'm telling you, it's really good. And again, when you make it, see, I used a really little avocado. Maybe if yours is bigger, it's okay, Sean. At least you're here. If yours is a bigger avocado, you might need to play with it. You might need a little more chocolate, or you might need a little bit more sweetener. Ooh, that's funny. So just play with that. But I think I'm gonna post this recipe on my Instagram, like the feed. I think I'll post a picture of the recipe so you can get it there if you want to. Yeah, Priscilla, let's do that. I would love that. Thanks for coming, you guys. I'm so happy to see you all. It makes me excited. But yeah, next Thursday, we're gonna do something wonderful. I love hanging out with you guys. Okay, yeah, I'll post it, Michelle. Don't even worry, you guys. I will get this to you guys, so don't worry. Okay, friends, thanks for coming, Instagram Live. I will see you guys next time. Hearts to you, Elena. All right, love you all. I'll see you guys later.